We play a lot of volleyball at camp. Tennis, another important part of our program. We have 4 tennis courts, and we even have lights on the courts, on 2 of the courts. We try to work in small groups. We like to have about 8 boys during a class period, so there'll be 2 per court. We have rebound nets. Again, this is a ball boy machine that throws the balls out at different trajectories so that the kids can practice hitting the ball back. Now we're going to try to work one-on-one with reflex action. The ball comes at very quick speeds to the kids, and they have to reverse their strokes, both forehand and backhand, so they don't end up favoring one stroke only. Again, we have a lot of camp tournaments in different age divisions. We also visit other camps. Gymnastics is a very important part of our program. This is high jump. We have crash pads so that they don't hurt themselves. We even inaugurated a few years ago a little pole vaulting group. And some of the kids start off here, they've never done it before. And eventually they go back to high school, or when they go to high school and they participate, some of them have gotten into the high jumping program and pole vault. This is a game called Tramp Wall. I have 8 pit-type trampolines. And the idea is for each group to attempt to come to the number 1 tramp area called the A-tramp. They throw the ball over the net, any of the 4 nets, and try to see if they can get the other boys to drop the ball. Now again, it prevents, we don't want a lot of flips unless it's supervised. So they're not allowed to flip when they're playing tramp ball. But we also have gymnastic classes. Now this is again a little bit more specialized, and the kids that get into this program will practice flips and different maneuvers. Again, this must be very carefully supervised. We have pads all the way along the ends, and we have not only the instructor, but the kids are involved in serving as guards for the kids. This particular boy is going to be doing a flip and possibly a half twist. Yes, he did a half twist that time. Archery, again, a popular part of our program. The boys are shooting at 15 feet, 20 feet, 25 feet. We belong to what's called the American Archery Association. And they're going to shoot for score. We'll keep a record of their target scores, and as they accumulate points, they can achieve certain rankings or ratings. We have the heavier type bow, but also very light bows for some of the younger boys. And they do enjoy this a great deal. But you got to watch out. The instructor once in a while has to be like William Tell. Basketball, softball, all kinds. Baseball, we play all different type of activities. There's a little basketball group. And they're going to get a little bit fancy in a minute. We'll see one of the boys do a backward pass. Now watch him. But it's intercepted, and he's going to get fouled right on the arm. Soccer, I can't tell you how many communities where these kids come from have become involved in soccer. It's probably one of the biggest growing sports in America. And we've gotten into soccer, and again, the kids enjoy it. We also play other camps in soccer. Golf. Some of your boys may want to play golf. We have a driving range near our camp. We also have at camp a cage, and we have 2 holes that we work off of. But then we'll take them to this driving range where they can practice their strokes, and eventually we have 3 major golf courses that the kids can play at. And I know that they enjoy it a great deal. A few years ago, we started a pottery program. We have 1 electric wheel and 5 kick wheels. And this particular boy is molding a pot. Put a lot of water on it, and you let the wheel spin and use your hand to mold it. We also have a kiln for drying this and glazing it. And they come out with some very beautiful creations. When I started the pottery program, I really never realized that it would be that popular. This is a mold. He's pouring the clay into the mold. When he's done, they'll also glaze it. Again, it allows some of these kids to show their creativity, which is what we're trying to do. Now they're opening up the mold after they've glazed and set it, and they come up with a pretty nice pot. Once in a while, we'll have a special evening program like boxing and wrestling night, and this becomes the Timberlane Madison Square Garden. Notice the headgear and the gloves, they're really particularly set up so that, you know, nobody gets hurt. And as I said, we had a lot of boxing and wrestling matches. By the time they're done, they're pretty arm-weary. But again, it's a lot of fun. The kids help build the ring, and Jim Goldstein really set up the whole stage, and it really has an air of authority. You almost think you're in a real fighting ring. You have a loudspeaker system and the gong, timekeeper. And again, as I say, it's a lot of fun. Now we have a little wrestling grudge match. And they're going to show how vicious they can be. A little kneeing, arm swing. This is again an exhibition, off the ring, into a flip. Now we also have some big mouths, claimed that nobody could beat them in baseball. So we said, all right, the loser is going to get syruped and feathered. Sure enough, we took syrup and we took 6 bottles of syrup and a lot of feathers from 2 old pillows and inundated them with feathers, and it really was a lot of fun. Again, done in good humor. And finally, they smelled so bad, we claimed, that we threw them in the lake. Again, this is what happens when you brag. Riflery, in our program, we use rifles with .22 caliber ammunition. We shoot at 50 feet from the target, and we belong to the NRA, called the National Rifle Association. Again, this is not done for hunting. We're trying to show them how to be safety conscious, how to shoot for score, and again, a record is kept of their scoring, and they achieve certain ratings through the program. It's always single bolt. That means they have to reload each time. We have heavy rifles for the older boys, with very light rifles for some of our kids that are 8 years old. And they become very proficient at this. And even more so, when they're done, they appreciate the safety features involved in a program of this nature. We've had this program at our camp for the last 19 years, and it has been very popular. Again, now they're gathering up their targets, and then we score it for them. Weightlifting, a lot of our boys going to high school want to stay in shape during the summer, and again, some of the younger boys want to learn what goes into it. This is a safety bar. If the weight were to fall, there's a pin, 2 pins, there they are, and it holds it in place. Then we have a series of exercises. Now it's just as important to make these kids understand you don't try to lift weights that you're not able to handle, because injury can occur. And as I mentioned, the older boys love to work on this so that when they get done with camp and go back to their cities, they're ready to participate in some of the sports that they're going out for.